People see theater as a non-professional course and which doesn't have much relevance, more like fun, the fun kind of something. But on the contrary, theater is broader than you think. Theater is not just about acting or having fun.
And why do you think many people still believe acting is just pretending? They think we're just there to play, there's nothing serious about it. So, how do people see you when you introduce yourself as one who studied theater arts?
I think you're very correct.
I think it's kind of hypocritical for the society to look down on people studying performing arts while you pay and spend time at the cinema to watch some people act. I mean, it's hypocrisy for me.
So I tell you, Pa, this Honorable Alhaji Louis and tell him about. Do you know I contest for election when 2023? Well, I contest someone. It's not to play one. Why are you laughing? Theater is the mirror in which people see the society and still enjoy it. Let's say when we watch Patient Ozoko treating a maid badly, but she's treating someone badly, right? But it's at the same time she's entertaining you. But she's saying acting is a conscious communication that requires action and dialogue. Now, take note of the words I used. The first word is conscious. By the virtue of being conscious, whatever an actor is doing, the actor is conscious of it. You understand?
Hello, guys, and welcome back to yet another beautiful episode of the Together We Nudge podcast, where we inspire you, educate you, and nudge you towards becoming the best version of yourselves. Today, I have an interesting and amazing personality with me in the studio in the person of Ohiri Ugochukwu Louis. Ohiri Ugochukwu Louis is popularly known as Honorable Alhaji Louis, and he is a trained theater and performing arts professional with experience as an actor, director, scriptwriter, voiceover artist, content creator, and event host. He is the marketing manager at Better Prints, where he applies theatrical storytelling and performance principles to branding, communication, and audience engagement. His work sits at the intersection of theater, media, and business, with a focus on using performance skills beyond the stage to influence, educate, and connect effectively. Our dear, awesome, and amazing viewers, join me to welcome Ugochukwu Ohiri to the Notch Studios. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me in the studio today.
It's a pleasure. So today he'll be taking us through an interesting title, which is Acting Isn't Pretending: The Discipline, Psychology, and Power of Theater. All right, before we get really into our topic for today, I would like to start from the very beginning. What first pulled you toward theater and performance, and when did you realize that you want to pursue a career in theater?
Okay, a very interesting question. I would say someone advised me to go into theater, and that was back then when I was in Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic. I was doing my IJMB, and I was contemplating then what course to study after my IJMB. And I know I belonged to a group in church, an acting group in church. So I had this fantastic performance. We had one performance and I did very great. And then, as I said, I was still contemplating on what course to, study in the university. So my friend was like, "Are you sure you will not go into acting?" And immediately, when he said that, that kept ringing in my head, and I was like, maybe this guy has a point. And then after my IJMB, I applied for theater and performing arts in ABU's area. And lo and behold, I got admission, and that's how the journey started.
Oh, wow, amazing. That's interesting.
Mm.
So, when you tell people you studied theater, what assumptions do they usually make, and why do you think many people still believe acting is just pretending? This is a real life experience now. I've heard people say that why would you go to the university to study theater arts? They think we're just there to play, there's nothing serious about it. So, do you get, like, how do people see you when you introduce yourself as one who study theater arts?
I think you're very correct. People see theater as a non-professional course and which doesn't have much relevance, more like fun, the fun kind of something. But on the contrary, theater is broader than you think. So when I got into theater, I got to understand there are different dimensions to theater. Theater is not just about acting or having fun. There are also other branches to theater. There is even also a developmental part of theater where you use theater for development, you know. And when you look at the practice itself, aside acting, you also have people who are in the light engineering department of theater, the light people, directing, acting, script writing. So it's a whole lot of package, but people just see only one aspect of it, which is maybe people being bohemians. By being bohemians, I mean just pleasure seekers. I think that was one of the words I learned when I got into the university. One of my lecturer had to explain to us. People have a misconception about theater practitioners as just fun seekers, and which is far from the truth. It's a whole broad term. As I said, there are different dimensions to it. So if someone sees me and thinks that I'm just making fun, wait until maybe we share some ideas and you know that theater is more than just having fun. There are ideologies to theater. There are ideologies to theater. The same way you have ideologies in economics, the same way you have ideologies in other courses. There are ideologies to theater.
Yeah.
Maybe the basic ones you know the tragedy, you know the comedy, you know the tragic comedy, right?
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, how do I come up with this concept? How did people come up with this concept of tragedy, comedy, tragic comedy? If we want to go deeper, we have so many other theories that bet theater ideas. We have the existentialism, we have the existentialism, we have the socialism, communism, all these things you know about, like this you know about in economics and all those psychology and the rest, they are embedded in theater. They are embedded in theater, and these are some of the things that formulate theater, aside just the acting that people know about.
Oh, amazing. That seems like a whole class.
It's a whole lot, trust me.
All right, then. So, from your experience, what kind of discipline does acting actually demand that the audience never gets to see?
Oh, do the audience? I mean, I don't think the audience don't get to see it. Maybe okay, maybe in some cases where actors do bad jobs on stage. So this is my definition of theater, or let me say acting. When we say theater, it's broad. Let's say acting. Acting, acting is a conscious communication that requires action and dialogue. Now, take note of the words I used. The first word is conscious. By the virtue of being conscious, whatever an actor is doing, the actor is conscious of it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So let's say I was put in a scene to cry. Why am I crying? I was put in a scene to laugh. Why am I laughing? These are conscious actions that I need to take because I'm trying to make the audience understand something. That is why I'm doing those things. And as we know, theater is a mirror to the society. You know, theater is the mirror in which people see the society and still enjoy it. Let's say when we watch Patient Ozoko treating a maid badly, but she's treating someone badly, right? But it's at the same time she's entertaining you, but she's sending a message to you. Let's say on a regular term, if you see someone treating someone badly outside, of course you might be like, "What are you doing?" Like you might want to intervene, understand? Yeah. But when you see it on TV or when you see it on stage, it's entertaining you. At the same time, you are grasping the message. It's like an orange. You're sucking out the juice. You're taking it in. You understand? So that's how it works for acting. So it's a conscious communication that involves action. By action, when an actor acts, use different sign languages, semiotics to depict what they're trying to say. Then, of course, with the words as well. You know, sometimes you need to change your voice, use a particular tone, or just to send a message,
Yeah,
a conscious message to the audience.
definitely. I believe you have to embody a character for you to deliver it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, sure. Prior to going on stage, every actor gets a script. Of course, it's pre-planned. You've done your rehearsals. You've embodied your character. You've internalized your character. You have to, for you to be able to portray, for you to be able to send the message properly, effectively, you need to understand it. That's what assimilation, you assimilate the character, embody it very well before you can consciously depict the character.
Yeah. I think it's kind of hypocritic for the society to look down on people studying performing arts while you pay and spend time at the cinema to watch some people act. I mean, I think that's kind of it's hypocrisy for me. That's what I think. Or maybe they just tend to belittle. I mean, they seen actors on stage. I mean, no one needs to tell us that these people are putting in a lot of work. You have to become another person. I mean, it takes so much. I tried acting, which oh my god, it was just my. I don't think I was meant to. It was like a 3 minute scene. I kept going over and over and over. I mean, it was. I'm like, is this what these people do? I mean, actors.
Yeah, of
I
course,
salute
you need
you.
to be
It's
you
not.
need to be intelligent to be a stage actor. So, contrary to or juxtaposing with the TV acting, where you have to cut, you take it again, cut, you take it again. Theater needs a very high level of discipline.
Okay. Oh, I think you're just clarifying me on something now. So acting on TV is different from acting on stage.
Yes, it's way different, but it makes it easy if you're a stage actor. When you go to the screen, it makes everything easy for you because
That's true.
you've understood the assignment properly. You know how to manage your stage. You know how to bring out the emotions. You know how to bring out your characterization. Because of course you just need to convince the audience watching and make them realize that. I mean, it has to be make believe. You have to make them believe what they are seeing. The sport, they are looking at you. So it needs a high level of discipline and concentration for you to be able to, do a good job with that.
All right then. So let's look at acting as in the aspect of psychology now. People often talk about acting as emotional work. So how much of it is really about understanding human behavior and psychology?
I think everything, as I said initially, there are theories or concepts um, to acting. There are different acting theories. There's one we call Brechtian techniques. So of course, people do undermine theater. They don't know there are a whole lot of things, that have gone on that, carpet. There are a lot of things that have been done to get theater to where it is today. There is Grotowski, there is Stanislavski, there are many different concepts. I mean, telling you different concepts, a whole lot. So about the emotion, right? You're talking about emotion, right? So these theories are what helps to form a character. The theories are what helps to form the characterization. So let's say if I'm trying to depict, let's say Stanislavski, for example, brings about the concept of what's this? One of his concepts using a narrator. Using a narrator, for example. So what's the job of the narrator? Now, when emotions get very high, so the his concept is that theater takes people out of the reality. It takes people too much out of the reality. They get soaked into the emotions. So he introduced what we call the narrator. So what does the narrator do? The narrator breaks the ice. When you're too deep into what you're seeing on stage, he comes and tells you, "Oh, wait, please. What you are seeing is not the real thing. We're just trying to, teach you something." And that engages the audience to know if really they're understanding what is going on stage. So it's quite a whole lot. I mean, I only wish people could do some research on theater and understand some of these things and don't just think that it's all about having fun.
Hmm. Well, okay. How has studying and practicing acting changed the way you relate with people or real life situations?
Oh, well, I think theater has made me a better communicator. Prior to studying theater, I used to be a very shy boy. I used to be a very shy boy. I could barely speak in the presence of people. But going into theater, having to collaborate with your fellow actors on stage, mingle with people, act in front of 1,000 people, in front of a crowd. So of course you just have to be a better communicator. You have no choice. You have no choice. And in relating it to real life situation. So, um, this is what theater does to you while you're going through those acting, you're trying to make people understand things. While you're trying to make somebody understand, you're also understanding it. So if I'm
Yes.
trying to depict a character, why did Adewale kill his brother? Of course, he had a miscalculation of emotion. So you see, I'm understanding why characters do what they do. And because I have a better understanding of why this person did this, when I'm now taking that in and using it in my own personal life, so I'm conscious now of the things that I do on stage or the things that I do while acting. I know, okay, should I have done this better? Should I have done this way, or should I have done it that way? So a whole lot. It has helped me in my communication skills, even being very vocal, talking to people, even emotional intelligence, getting to understand people's psychology, understand people's emotions, psychology, and a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. Theater has done a whole lot to my life, to be honest. It has done a whole lot.
Amazing. I was going to ask you, the next question I was going to ask you is how it has built your emotional intelligence, but you already answered.
Very well. I mean, uh, even there's also a romantic aspect of theater when you read plays like Romeo and Juliet. You see how people exchange pleasantries when it comes to emotion. So even theater would help you become a good lover. I mean, you know how to love your partner better. So it's a whole lot of things. Trust me.
Amazing. So you work across content creation, voiceover, event hosting, and marketing.
Yes.
How do theater principles show up in the work you do outside performance spaces?
Oh, okay. So first of all, spontaneity is one of the skills you need as a theater practitioner. And this is what I bring into play when it comes to content creation. So once I have a particular topic, I can quickly build on it. I can quickly build on it because of I've been taxed over time to build my sense of creativity. Let's say you're on stage with an actor and the other person forgets his lines. You need spontaneity to be able to correct, to fill in that gap and let the audience not find out. So these are some of the skills that theater helps you build. And now lifting that, applying it personally to content creation. So once, let's say, a customer calls me, okay, I need you to help me create a content on this. Once I get the brief, I can quickly come up with things. I already understand, okay, this is what will work, this is what will work, and all that. Then business wise, the business wise, where it helps me the most is in terms of marketing. Marketing, yes. So that boldness that I've gotten from theater, where I can speak, I can meet people, I can try to convince them, without fright. So maybe playing around with words, being good with words to be able to convince people to, you know, patronize your product.
Fantastic. So, in today's fast digital world where attention is short, where do you think theater still holds power and relevance?
I think it does, but the only thing is that it has advanced. Theater has advanced to a bigger platform, which is the content creation now. It's funny how what people criticized many years ago is now the trend of today. Almost everybody now wants to go into content creation. But this is something that we used to do on stage, where you look at it like you're just playing, you're wasting your life. That's what everybody now wants to go into. Everybody wants to become a content creator, not realizing where the root is from. Of course, you cannot separate it from theater. That's where it all started, from acting, from stage acting, it's advanced to screen acting, and now social media, where once someone has a phone, they feel like they're actors. They're now born actors. They can show off. They can. So I wouldn't say it has advanced. Yes, maybe the theater industry might be struggling because of the advancement. Because of the advancement, everybody has their phones. Nobody wants to go to the theater to watch movies again, live performances. So it's more of, oh, I can just use my phones and, create content, or I can watch through my phone. So the theater industry, the conventional theater industry is struggling. People are no longer interested in watching plays. I mean, have you seen a stage play before?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell me what stage play you watched?
Okay, it was a performance. You said you studied in ABU's
Yes,
area.
ABU's area.
Yeah, so the theater students in ABU's
Yes.
area, they did this, they use an auditorium.
Yes.
And then I think it's more like a cultural play.
Yes.
So you had the king, with lots of music and dialogue, even monologues as well.
Yeah. And you could tell how original it was.
Yes.
The originality of theater remains. Like you're seeing the people live, not on your screen. You're seeing them. You're watching them. You're seeing them do all the actions. I mean, I think it's more appealing for me. Theater is still more appealing for me. When I still see stage plays, I still feel very excited about it. Seeing people, that realness on how they portray the characters. it still gives me that goosebumps when I see theater. But
Even when they had to freeze, I mean, these guys literally held themselves for close to a minute. I'm like, how
the
did you do
discipline,
it?
I mean, the
Yes, the
discipline,
discipline.
yes, you need to be disciplined.
Mm.
And talking about the songs, using songs, live songs, and I mean, theater is beautiful. I mean, it's such a beautiful profession. But of course, it's struggling because, I mean, technology is almost taking away everything we have. Unfortunately, technology is taking everything we have. The little joy we used to have, technology is advancing them and making them look, superficial or something like that. But maybe I don't know if you would take time to watch plays like, let's say, Things Fall Apart, a Things Fall Apart play, or this one, The Gods Are Not to Blame. I mean, when you watch these stage plays, I mean, you have goosebumps, like seeing the actions, the dialogues, and everything. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to see.
You're making me fall in love with theater.
You need to fall in love with theater, trust me.
Okay. If someone is considering theater but feels unsure because it doesn't seem practical, in quote, what would you want them to understand about the value of this discipline? I mean, theater, the discipline of theater and performing arts.
Okay, I think my advice would be, the world is growing very fast, and I urge everybody to grow with the world. So if you decide you want to go into theater, it's a good yes, you can do that. You can go into theater, but don't limit yourself to just stage production.
Yes.
That's my advice for you. Don't limit yourself to stage production. When you go into theater, try to learn other components of theater. As I said, there's a development angle to theater. You can also verge into the development angle to theater. Now, talking about the development aspect to theater, we did some developmental courses then where we go into villages and we try to sensitize people how they could use theater to bring about change. Yes, theater can bring about change. Let me give a scenario. We go into a community, let's say a healthcare organization goes into a community and, oh, come, we want to immunize your kids. And people are like skeptical. No, we're not sure of what you're here to do. Then let's say if you have theater practitioners there with you, they could start singing, gathering people. The next thing, they could switch up and act a scene. Oh, Mama John Bosco, this your picking, you never immunize them. Oh. Then maybe the kids runs comes in the scene and like, mommy, my leg is paining me, or my head, I'm having headache or something. Some theater, show off there. Then what's happening? What's happening? Maybe not because of say I not take immunization. Instantly, you're sending a conscious message to the people who didn't want their kids to get immunized. So they're like, oh, let's go and check it out. From there, I can tell you, maybe not 100%, but at least 50% would grasp the message and they would want to come and engage in what you're doing. We tried this so many times and it worked. We go into a community, people don't want to engage. Once we start some theater practices, before you know they're coming, they begin to buy it. So just the beauty of theater, where theater can offer a whole lot. So you can verge into the other dimensions of theater, even the lighting, the engineering part of theater. Don't just restrict yourself to acting. There's also script writing in theater, directing in theater. You could write books, novels, plays. So quite a whole lot. So don't limit yourself to even the content creation aspect is also, on vogue at the moment. So don't box yourself. Explore everything you can, and with the current reality.
Okay, I like what you did with the
When I say
sure thing.
yes, yes.
So can you do something? I'm still to entertain our audience now. So can you do something? Maybe some things around the North Studios or anything. Like just in 1 minute, just act something fun.
Oh, okay. I mean, this was not planned for, but let's see what we can do. Well, I embody a character which I call Honorable Alhaji Lewis. So the character is more like someone from the northern part of Nigeria, and the northern accent. So I tell you, Pa, this Honorable Alhaji Lewis and telling Albert, do you know I contest for election way 2023? Well, I contest someone. It's not to play one. Why are you laughing? It's not. I contest for elections. And I can. What is my party at that time? I don't forget my party. Okay, no problem. What will happen is that 2027, I will contest again. So I will prove to you where I'm a politician. So you will believe me that I do in politics very well. I think I had something. I had something like a party which I formed. There was embezzlement, public fund embezzlement party, you know. So that's it. I embody a character, Honorable Alaji Louise, and I do my Hausa kind of something.
Okay, so I want to stretch you further. Okay. So what's one piece of advice or encouragement you'd give to anyone who dreams of pursuing theater, performance, or any creative path, but feels uncertain to take their first step?
The advice is take that step, or just take anyhow you want to do it, just take that step. Anyways, but what I can say is that if you intend to verge into theater, try not to box yourself on one particular aspect of theater. Try to explore other options of theater. You could do the script writing, content creation. Content creation can even be embedded into theater now. You could talk about the engineering aspect of theater. You could learn how to lightning, costume,
Make
yes, event management, event management, location, be a location manager. So there are other angles that you can look at. Don't just box yourself up on just acting. You could also look at the developmental part of theater. Just make sure you embody everything. I mean, like, to be honest, I don't think just one knowledge can sustain you right now in Nigeria. You see somebody doing this business and they're doing multiple businesses. So don't box yourself up with just acting. Try to explore every dimension of theater, even the educational aspect of it. Being a lecturer, no, just make sure you explore to the fullest. That's my advice.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on our show. I had so much fun, especially with the happy thing.
The Alhaji Lewis, you like it,
Yes,
Papa?
I do. I like it.
No problem, Elmaria. Hey, she don't laugh. She laugh, but she like Alhaji Lewis. You know, Alhaji have money. Ladies like people that have money. Pick up.
So if we would like to connect with you on social media, how do we find you?
Oh, that one is a small little one. Social media is very open for anybody to find me. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and even on TikTok myself. You just type Honorable Alhaji Lewis and I will appear. You put Honorable HON, then Alhaji Lewis, you would find me. Very easy myself.
Okay, Honorable Alhaji Louis, we'll definitely find you. And yes, of course, we will appear to us.
Yes, of course, one.
All right, then. Thank you very much for joining in today's episode of the Together We Notch podcast. Don't forget to keep improving on yourself, keep working on yourselves. Until next time, follow us on our social media handles at The Notch Studios. Bye for now.
Bye.